with this one right here, 410 AM balance. You got balance, and you got what just AM coming into it. You know, especially with his, you know, his balance. You know, the balance one coming into it, and you know him coming into his whole thing. You know, especially with his whole thing coming into it, and he got his whole other, you know, Rastis coming into it, and him with his whole other, you know, just my elastics and stuff like that. And especially, you know, you got something else coming into it. So it's like, you know, for him coming in with his other one, his other single one, and him having his whole other, you know, Rastis, you know, this makes it more, you know, another chroma station, you know, because, you know, just thinking about it, you know, me thinking about it, see what he actually got on this one. You know, he probably got the whole just another Rastis coming into it. But you got with this one right here, especially with 410, because, you know, part of the 410 group, it's like so many of them. Like, you got so many of the 410s, like you see them coming around in all kinds of orders. Like, you know, they make their commands, you know, they have their orders and all that other stuff. So it's like you got a whole bunch of, you know, routinies of them. But you got what the AM, especially with the balance and everything else, you know, coming into those whole things. But you got what AM and all this other Rastis.
Patrick, you're a lunatic.
Why Jay made this?
Big guns what I bring to the table, your boy held one to the chest and nasal. Bring out the rascal, taking the fire and pimp in the beat like badass. The way bro just done it in public, one of them artists, bloody was shameful. 2 hands on the ting when I strangle the ting, give a man wings and salas. Big guns what I bring to the table, your boy held one to the chest and nasal. Nowadays I can't even go Tesco, they had man's face on the telly and bagel. The way bro just done it in public, front of them aunties, bloody was shameful. That's a word that we nickname Aries, cause he went down something in April. What I bring to the table, your boy held one to the chest and nasal. Nowadays I can't even go Tesco, they had man's face on the telly and bagel. The way bro just done it in public, front of them aunties, bloody was shameful. That's a word that we nickname Aries, cause he went down something in April. And anytime that we pull up on pagans, broad day shavings, we ain't got manners. I run up on guys with green bandanas, we back to I can't even go Tesco, they had man's face on the telly and bagel. The way bro just done it in public, front of them aunties, bloody was shameful. That's a word that we nickname Aries, cause he went down something in April. And anytime that we pull up on pagans, broad day shavings.
Ooh, he said broad day shave. Hey, broad day shaving. You know how many times did we put it on paper? How many times did we put it on paper? You know, with those other riscations, like he said, everything else was shaking. Like, hoof, like that. Hey, that's the real thing. That's like coming to some like, you know, purgy type of stuff. Once you hear those noises, like you got the whole thing. But he said, you know, coming from a different, you know, all kinds of other, you know, shaking. And he said, you know, with the shaving, like the broad day shaving and all those other things, like he said, the way he should have let them on, you know, on a skater, like let them on another skater, like the whole thing coming into it, especially with the whole thing, like it's already got a, you know, scamless, like it's already, you know, manless and hidden and all this other stuff, like, you know, the way it's just, you know, slashing and all this other, you know, slaughtering.
We ain't got manners. I run up on guys with green bandanas. We backed out hammers, they backed out cameras. I don't know about them, man. 5 in a day, see a man turn salad. You never ride for a friend, you wallad. I got one knee trying to gain some balance. One knee trying to gain some balance. I don't know about them, man. 5 in a day, see a man turn salad. You never ride for a friend, you wallad. I got one knee trying to gain some balance. One knee trying to gain some balance. And we stepped.
Ooh, he said, hey, have you ever did something for your friends? You wildin' like off another miss. Like I'm trying to get that, you know, I'm trying to get that example right there. I'm trying to get a little example what he was trying to, you know, put as like, is you ever, you know, stood on your ground or something else. But he said, you know, Stanley's running. He said something about Stanley's running, they wilding, you know, is you ever did this and that, you know, that's another excretion, man.
In the club with hammers, ring out the rascal ting, the fire and pimp in the beat like badass. badders. Then I pass to my bro, I'm knackered. 2 hands on the ting when I strangle the ting, finna give a man wings like Dallas. 2 hands on the ting, man channel it, ad-lib stabbing it, man them pattern it. When I walk with the ting, I'm travelling, ting too long, I don't know about daggering. No point trying to talk about depot, your ting gone when you see these damages. I'm in the club with savages, 5 a day, see the man turn cabbages. Big ting, it likes rinsing, you need diesel for this engine. When I rev this and they're sprinting, we got more things buried in Brixton. If it's a template, I pay you less to go butt them, then I shoot them. I fly up, sir, I go Houston and get fast train, no I ain't cruising. You wouldn't think that I got it in Nando's, shotgun bells come bigger than mangoes. I got big things chilling in bandos, G17 clip looking like Ram. Shoot them, I fly up, sir, I go Houston and get fast train, no I ain't cruising. You wouldn't think that I got it in Nando's, shotgun bells come bigger than mangoes. I got big things chilling in bandos, G17.
That was Strollish right there. He just said some scholarly stuff. Like he said he got big things just like big bells, hooving. And he said, you know, the other part, like, you know, coming from that part, you know, and that's where they mainly be too, you know, with the whole thing, you know, that, hey, that's something, you know, cladless right there, like the whole thing. I don't really want to get on to speak on that, but you know, that's another thing right there. Like he said, you know, he got big things just like big bills, you know, big weapons in the bandos, you know, that comes into another Casassimus, like, you know, how you just put it in, how you just resented it, like, he got the whole thing just, like, the thing is bushy.
17 clip looking like Rambo's. And the plug just land from Kenya, so the first thing I tell him is Jambo. And anywhere man can go, it gets long when I back these Anglo. Long when I back these Anglo arms. The 4-4 kit like something in farms. The boy just ran and it ripped his gums. I'm sure this call never meant no harm. You don't have sense to defend your dog, but try ask Stegs what he done to Guffs. A man got deck trying to play these cards. A man done legs and he left his arms. One knee trying to gain some balance, and we stepped in the club with hammers. Ring out the rascal ting, the firing pin finna be like badders. Then I pass to my bro, I'm knackered. 2 hands on the ting when I strangle the ting, finna give a man wings like Dallas. 2 hands on the ting, man channel it, ad-lib stabbing it, man them pattern it. When I walk with the ting, I'm travelling, ting too long, I don't know about daggering. No point trying to talk about depot, your ting gone when you see these damages. I'm in the club with savages, 5 a day, see the man turn cabbages. Big guns what I bring to the table, your boy hold one to the chest and knees. Ring out the rascal ting, the firing pin finna be like batter. The way bro just done it in public, funny them hardest, bloody was shameful. 2 hands on the ting when I strangle the ting, finna give him my wings like Dallas.
Hey, this one right here was the brisket ones, you know, coming into it, especially with the balance and everything else. Like, like he said, you know, the thing's way too big, just the hand dress it, you know, and the whole other thing, that's crazy, you know, from it coming from his side and stuff like that. But you got the balance coming into it, especially with this whole thing, you know, coming into it, like he said, you know, it comes with another stick of miss, like he said, you know. And he said, like, the other things, the main things, you know, how you getting into it and everything else, like he said, you know, especially with AM, because, you know, he got that whole like, he started that stuff and all that other stuff. And especially when it comes to him, like, his whole things, like he said, he stepped in the scene with savages, like, like, how can you even, you know, even express that, like, how he just came in through the whole, you know, he came in through, you know, Northstis, like, just came through Northstis. But you got with this one right here, balanced and everything else, especially with AM. But you see how it's coming in a whole infamous. But I'm gonna stop it right here and stuff like that. But you got the balance 410 AM, and you got everything else. So, you know, you got the main scrizzes